Good morning, everyone. My name is Terry Beatty, and I'm the Director of Athletics, and I'd like to welcome you to Westchester University. You have joined us on homecoming, a very special day at WCU. We are proud to welcome back our alumni and join with our students, faculty and staff, friends, and community neighbors to celebrate. What better day could there be to celebrate the dedication of the WCU Diving and Aquatics Center to Dr. Ronn Jenkins. Ron, we are also excited to cut the ribbon on our newly renovated Aquatics Center in just a little bit. Joining us today, along with Ron and his family and friends, are members of university leadership and a few guests of note. I would like to acknowledge WCU President Dr. Christopher M. Fiorentino and Sue Fiorentino, Vice President for Student Affairs Dr. Zebulon R. Davenport, Vice President for University Affairs and Chief of Staff Dr. John Villela, Dean, College of Sciences and Mathematics Dr. Radha Piatti, Vice Provost for Enrollment Management and Student Success, Dr. Kathleen M. Howley, and WCU Foundation CEO Chris Momini. Also joining us today is Pennsylvania State House Representative for the 74th Legislative District, Dan K. Williams. Student Services Incorporated Executive Director Donna Snyder is here, as is our SSI Board President Dr. Bernie Carrozza. I would also like to introduce the head coach of swimming and diving and the coordinator of the Dr. Ronn Jenkins Diving Aquatics Center, Steve Mazurek. And a warm welcome to the members of the WCU diving team that are also joining us here this morning. The swimming and diving teams here at WCU have a long and storied history of success. Last season, our men won their 21st straight PSAC championship, and our women won their 13th consecutive PSAC title. The women then went on to finish third at the NCAA championship, with swimmer Georgia Wright winning 3 individual national championships, and diver Nadia Mulder became the first female diver in school history to win a national championship, claiming the title on the 1-meter board. As every great team has a great leader, so too does Westchester University. So at this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the 15th president of Westchester University, Dr. Christopher Fiorentino.
Well, good morning. Great turnout. It's actually, this is an interesting audience to try to talk to here, but good, and we're delighted to see such a great turnout. And I am absolutely very pleased to be here as we cut the ribbon for the new Dr. Ronn Jenkins Diving and Aquatics Center. As we dedicate this beautiful refurbished facility, it strikes me that dedicated is an apt word when you're talking about Ronn. For starters, he is dedicated to his alma mater. He's a proud graduate of Westchester University and is now in his 43rd season coaching Westchester diving. He is dedicated to the sport of diving. During his own college career, Ron captured a Mid-Atlantic Conference diving championship and won a PSAC individual diving title. He was named Westchester's Outstanding Athlete in 1964 and earned 2 Junior Olympic national titles in the early 1960s. How about that? During his years of full-time employment at Westchester, Ronn juggled coaching responsibilities with other roles, all dedicated to our shared mission of student success. This is quite a list. He worked as a counselor, then became director of the Advising Center, assistant dean of students, oversaw the conduct office, fraternity and sorority life, orientation, housing and residence life, and dining services, before finally being named chair of the Department of Educational Services. Holy mackerel. Today, Ronn dedicates his time and energies to bringing out the best in our college divers. He's widely considered one of the top diving coaches in the country. Under his tutelage, countless Westchester divers have qualified for national championships, and 2 were named national champions, including Nadia Mulder just last year. Again. Many generous donors made today possible. I believe Dr. Davenport will be recognizing some of these special individuals in just a moment. Know that every gift is appreciated and valued. You have helped to create a state-of-the-art diving and aquatics center for which we can all be very proud. Thank you all for all that you do for Westchester University. Now let me turn the microphone over to Dr. Zeb Davenport, Vice President for Student Affairs.
Good morning. Thank you, President Ferrantino. I am very excited and happy to be here today celebrating our Diving and Aquatics Center and its dedication to Dr. Ronn Jenkins. Before I begin my formal remarks, I do think it's important for some of you who don't know, actually everybody knows this guy, but for those of you who don't really know Ronn Jenkins, I'd just like to give you a quick account of Dr. Ronn Jenkins. You know, they say you really know somebody if you do 2 things, either travel with them or live with them. Well, I had the opportunity recently, actually I had the task recently, to journey with Dr. Jenkins. We took a 2.5-day trip, and I was to pick him up at 6:30 a.m. sharp. And I was there at 6:30 a.m. sharp. And by 6:35 a.m., I knew it was going to be a long 2.5 days. Literally, I walked in his house, grabbed his bag. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Well, Coach, I'm just going to put the bag in the car." He says, "I can carry my own bag. What do you think? I'm old. I can't." I said, "You know what? Carry your own bag, right?" We bring the bag to the car. I grab it. I stick it in the car. He sits down and he says, "Listen, turn right, go straight, turn right again, and stay straight until I tell you to turn." Immediately, I cut. Am I telling the truth? And the problem was, we were still in the driveway. Am I telling the truth? So I'm literally taking notes as we're traveling because I'm like, you can't make this stuff up. So he tells me how to get down the highway. We get to the airport. Mind you, we drove around the airport once and past our parking decks twice because he said, "Turn right." And I said, "Coach, that's arriving planes. Turn right." So I turned right. And then we went around the airport. Anyway, we made it through. Check. We went to pre-check. And no less than 4 times I said, "Coach, this is pre-check. Don't take your junk out of the bag." He takes it out of the bag, right? I finally decided that I couldn't win with this guy. You can't tell him anything. You can't win in an argument. So I changed my strategy. Now this I'm going to confess. I started running ahead of Coach because I could outwalk him. I would run down to the gate and I'd say, "Listen, I'm traveling with an older gentleman. He's cantankerous." He's very cantankerously independent. He's very polite, but just don't mess with him because he's a bear. And I said, can you just give us early boarding? And she says, yes. So I reach in my pocket, I tip her. I run over to the restaurant. And I said, hey, listen, I'm traveling with a famous coach. He's a nice guy. He's polite, but don't mess with his food. Now, can you get him served real quick? Yes, I tip him. I look at the cook. I said, we got to catch a plane. He said, I got you. I tip him. By the time we got on the plane, I think I tipped everybody from TSA to... But you had no idea, Coach. He's walking down just strolling, just nice and pretty. So we get on the airplane. I'm going to cut this short. We get on the plane, and at 8:53, now we bickered back and forth the entire time. You can't get his coffee for him. You can't touch his bag. You can't do this. At 8:53, the guy looks at me and says, is it Tuesday yet? And I'm looking at him like, are you kidding me? We can go back now. But the plane didn't take off until 8:59. And at 9:10, the coach pulls out his iPad and decides he wants to watch a movie, and he shares the movie with me. At 9:15, I look over, and he's like this. He spent the entire flight holding the iPad on the tray with his head down, asleep. So I decided to nap with him, and when the plane hit the ground, I looked at him and he says, did you enjoy the movie? I'm like, did you enjoy the movie? Anyway, I said, Coach, here, you saw it? Yeah, I saw it before. Coach, can I take your iPad? I'll just put it in the bag since you... He said, nope. And I said, well, Coach, I'm just standing here. I'll put the iPad in the bag. He goes, you might steal it. I said, Coach, we're going to the same place. I don't want your stinking iPad. I have my own computer. I just reached down, grabbed it, stuck it in my bag, grabbed his bag off the overhead, put it on the ground, and I walked off the plane. Now, we did this the entire trip, back and forth, just like brothers or big brother or just back and forth. I called him this morning. I said, Coach, where are you? He said, I'm not telling you. I said, I just want to make sure you're going to be on time. But after 2.5 days with the coach, here's what I know about this man. He's very intelligent. He has a sense of humor, an odd sense, but a sense nonetheless. In his 40-some years of working here, you heard the president, he's literally done every job in the Division of Student Affairs except serve as the vice president. He knows everybody because he's never met a stranger. He forgets nothing and no one because he lives in the moment and he makes everybody feel important. He knows how to make people feel special. He has a mind like a steel trap. I was talking to him about Melrose Foreman, who called and said she was coming, and I don't know if she's here or not. And he immediately says, yes, right here. He immediately says, Melrose and her sister, they were the first students that I coached in diving when I came here 40-some years ago. He knows how to make people matter. He's a great coach, a great mentor, a great friend. He's kind, he's humble, has a big heart. He's beloved and he's honored. And he's been a blessing to a whole lot of people in a whole lot of places. And yes. And other than bossing me around for 2.5 days, I will say, Coach, the time we spent together were some of the most memorable moments for me, very special. We left Westchester as co-workers, and we returned as fast friends, extended families, and connected for a lifetime. Coach, thank you for spending those 2.5 days with me.
Thank you.
And I'll never forget that. And today we have the opportunity to cut a ribbon in your honor so that folks who come far after we're gone will never forget you. Folks over here next door, we're going to, in a moment, cut the ribbon for a renovated pool area that has a state-of-the-art environment for diving teams, spectators, and recreational swimmers. The Aquatics Center provides professional diving sport arena with a refinished floor, walls, pools, and bleachers. It's a renovated we have a renovated NC2A approved diving equipment, of which, if we had more time, I can tell you about this man chasing down 2 diving boards, 2 weeks worth. Anyway, 3 weeks. The coach's office provides a professional environment for mentoring and performance review. There's a renovated women's locker room as well. And we have some amazing donors who made this project possible. Our thanks begins with Dr. Ronn Jenkins. His support for this renovation has been tremendous. Next, we owe our gratitude to Student Services Incorporated, to Donna Snyder, the Executive Director, and to Dr. Bernie Carrozza, who is the Board President of SSI, as well as the entire board for making their gift possible. We also want to extend our gratitude to Steve and Shannon Rutherford, who traveled up from Florida to be here today. They've honored Dr. Jenkins and the university with a wonderful gift, and we will be recognizing and celebrating their gift with a plaque that will be located by the diving coach's office in the Aquatics Center. So we thank you folks for your contributions. And also want to make mention of folks, sometimes people are behind the scenes and we don't get a chance to recognize those people. But some of the folks who are in our facilities area, John Fenimore, Sam Carter, Dan Vincent, Mina Lely, Mike Clark, all of these folks. Who? John Rowe, see what I mean? John Rowe, did I miss anybody? Okay. We want to give those folks a round of applause. Now, I would like to introduce a member of the class of 1966. He's a WCU Distinguished Alumni Award recipient in 1991, a member of the WCU Alumni Association Board and Student Services, Inc. I would like to present unto you Dr. Bernie Carrozza.
Now, before I say anything, this is like deja vu for me. When I was here on campus, he used to have a crowd around him. And he still has a crowd around him. Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Davenport, President Fiorentino, Dr. Jenkins, and member of the Jenkins family, distinguished guests and friends. On behalf of the SSI Board of Directors and our Executive Director, Donna Snyder, it is my honor and privilege to be here today as we recognize a person who has enriched and influenced the lives of so many people. It is particularly heartwarming for me to be here because I had the pleasure of knowing Ron when I attended Westchester as a member of the class of 66. Today, he finally admitted to me that he's older than I am. As I vividly remember those days, I remember a Ron who was friendly and caring, extremely dedicated to task, and a champion both in and out of the pool. He was a warm, outreaching person who was highly respected by everyone. He was also a man of integrity, high ideals, and strong character, who, by the way, managed to put Westchester on the map with his swimming and diving talents. We were very proud of Ron then, and we are very proud of Ron now. I recall that he was a true collegiate celebrity, but never did Ron flaunt his notoriety. This is terrible. I can't even get the paper anymore. Excuse me. Ron was always Ron. Just as you see him today, that was Ron back 50 plus years ago. And that makes you very special. Very special to all of us and to all of the people that have walked behind you. We knew back then that Ron was destined to do great things, and he did. And we celebrate him today. I am honored to have known Ron Jenkins for the past 50 plus years, and honored to call him my friend and almost classmate. Ron, to all of us, you are a role model, the epitome of dedication and inspiration. You have created a legacy that will serve as a blueprint for others to follow. For this, for all that you stand for, we honor you today and salute your numerous accomplishments and extreme generosity. SSI is most proud to be a part of this recognition. Congratulations, Dr. Ronn.
Get ready. Thank you, Dr. Carrozza. Today, we are honored to have with us on this occasion Pennsylvania State House Representative Dan K. Williams, who represents Chester County and the 74th Legislative District. He would like to say a few words and offer Dr. Jenkins a citation. Representative Williams.
Good morning. Let me say what an incredible honor it is to stand in this space and honor someone worthy. I've appreciated the opportunity to be a part of these proceedings simply because I think giving honor where it's due is appropriate, and so I'll try to truncate my remarks. I realize that we're standing here to celebrate Dr. Jenkins, and we appreciate the impact that he's had personally. When you look at someone who served for more than 43 years, someone who has provided counseling, coaching, as well as mentoring, it's clear that his impact has been significant, not only in the university at large, but specifically in the lives of people. And yes, it's appropriate to celebrate a man who has been identified as a Hall of Famer, not just here with the Westchester University family. He is a part of the Pennsylvania Swimming Hall of Fame as well, and a member of the Chester County Swimming Hall of Fame. And so it's true that today we are right to honor Dr. Jenkins. And I recognize that oftentimes the mention of faith, the proceedings like this, is not clearly understood, but let me offer this clarification. It's appropriate because we're honoring Dr. Jenkins because of what he's been able to achieve personally. And personally, he has made an impact on this university and certainly on this community. But we're honoring him also because on today we're reminded that Dr. Jenkins believed in people. And many of the young people that he believed in are better adults, better citizens, better individuals simply because of his faith in them. Maya Angelou wrote that people don't remember what you know, they remember how you made them feel. And there has never been someone who's encountered Dr. Jenkins who's not walked away feeling special and significant. Even in light of strong discipline, he's instilled a level of determination, not just in swimmers, but in fraternity brothers and men and women throughout this campus. And so I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the Pennsylvania House of Representatives. I won't belabor all of the whereases with this citation, but let me read simply this. Whereas Westchester University is honoring Dr. Ronn Jenkins' impact on the countless athletes and students under his tutelage, with the dedication of the Dr. Ronn Jenkins Diving and Aquatics Center on October 26, 2019. The House of Representatives, therefore, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, thanks Dr. Ronald M. Jenkins for his years of dedication and service to education and the sport of diving, and congratulates him for the dedication of this facility here at Westchester University. Thank you so much. Ron, thank you for your investment in the lives of so many.
I'm truly humbled by your attendance and the history that's followed me here today. I look out and I see first divers I've ever had since coming to Westchester. But it's more than just divers, it's first families. And I thank you too for coming, because you've always been there by the poolside, on the phone, just helping me in my needs and in my venture to try and build a better diver, a better person. I want to thank all the honored guests for this occasion. I want to thank my partner, Ann, who's been a supporter by my side. My son, Steve, his wife, Shannon, and Hannah. And Asia. The big surprise was that my immediate family drove all the way from York to be here. And so Tracy, Michael, Alex, thank you for coming. I took on this venture not to be a recognized diving coach or to develop Olympic champions or national champions, but out of a passion that was given to me. I grew up in a York YMCA where I was the first person of color. And I can remember in gymnastics classes, I would tumble and we're supposed to sit in a line till the next person does their thing on the mat. I was always pushed away, saying, "Don't sit by me, don't sit by me." One person said, "You can sit here." 4 words. 4 words gave me the desire to come back a second time. That person is Mike Lau. Mike Lau and I were competitors in high school, in YMCA, and at Westchester University. Mike, I hope you're here. The next person I'd like to honor is Chuck Pagano. Growing up, again, there was no incentive for me to go to college. I wanted to, but I was afraid. I didn't know what it would be like. Chuck Pagano gave me that incentive on the pool deck of F&M College with 1 word: come. And Chuck was my diving coach in my 4 years at Westchester. He was my mentor. He was the person that I went to in my ups and downs. And I know he's here too. Thanks, Chuck. Now, that family, the people who touched me. Kierkegaard, a great philosopher, once said, "I'm not a teacher, but a fellow student." And what he was implying was that he too learned from his students. And all of you who are here today, please stand. You are all my teachers, as well as me being yours. I'm just going to close and say thank you very much for this ride. It's been great.
So we are getting ready. First of all, thank you, Coach, for those remarks. Certainly do appreciate that. And your humbleness. You have some members of your fraternity. Some members of your fraternity are over there. A5. Sorry, folks. So we're getting ready to cut the ribbon for the Dr. Ronn Jenkins Diving and Aquatics Center. And it will be the home of WCU diving for years to come. We know that many of you have shown your appreciation by offering your monetary support. And for those of you who have still yet to give, we're not quite there. And so this is my soft pitch. You still have time to donate toward the cause. In fact, you should have some pledge cards on your table as we speak. How did I do, folks? Did I do great? Yes, yes. My colleagues from the foundation said, way to go. So it's time to cut the ribbon. And so what we're going to do is all move out in the lobby area. We need the speakers, family members. We're going to stand at the door facing this way. Folks, you're welcome to come and be a part of it. Just allow these folks to get out to the door, and we'll take a couple of posed shots. Where's Erica? She might be out there waiting for us. We're going to take a couple of posed shots. Coach, you'll have some scissors. We'll do a countdown, and you get to cut the ribbon, and then we'll go inside. Folks, you're able to walk inside and take pictures of the Diving and Aquatic Center. We thank you for coming. We thank you for your dedication. Coach, we thank you for all you've done, the people's lives whom you've touched, the legacy that you will leave, and the continued work, because you're not going anywhere. You just need to know that. That's right. So, thank you all. We'll head out to the lobby.